What's up mga Kap? And we are live again on our Everyone Stories every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Halifax time. And of course, mga Kap, if you're watching right now, we want you to join our podcast, our conversation, because we have a very special guest that will help us plan. Because planning is the key, no? So if you are dreaming to immigrate to Canada, you're planning to start your business, you're planning to do real estate, or you're planning for 2025, this webinar is for you because we have a very special guest that will help us to lay out and plan for our 2025. Our guest is a seasoned financial advisor and founder of Clearpoint Wealth Management, known for helping clients achieve their goals through a personalized planning and smart investment strategies. So we're very excited, Mumakap, to have him with a deep focus on understanding each person's unique aspirations. Our guests specialize or emphasize informed decisions and proactive financial management. So if you're watching right now, I want you to join our conversation. You can comment in the comment section. Shout out to our Community Canada community, to our Kap Joey on social media, on Facebook and YouTube. Please join us on our live streaming. His expertise is perfect fit for tonight's topic: year-end financial tips and kickstarting 2025 strong. Get ready for your financial practical advice on wrapping up 2024 right now and setting up yourself for the prosperous 2025. Let's welcome our very, very special guest, Joe Tablan. Ayan, kumusta?
Mabuti, salamat. Buhay, everybody.
Thank you very much, Joe, for giving us this opportunity to share your expertise, your experience in financial, tips,
Mhm.
financial planning for everyone. And for sure, you should already talk, before this webinar or podcast, we already have a short conversation of what you're doing and how you're able to help other people. I'm so inspired of your story. You're helping a lot of people. But what's the drive? What's the driving force or inspiration that keeps you passionate about what you do right now?
I think right now, there's a lot of things happening in the world today, and there's always something happening, but really right now there's a lot of uncertainty. Things are going to craziness and things like that. But for me, the biggest thing that really intrigued me in terms of this industry is the fact that many people don't know what they don't know. And so for me, I've been able to, with my previous hotel experience and, dealing with financial numbers and things like that, and now going into this, it's really given me the passion to, for one, take care of my family, but also making sure that our families are taken care of for now, into the future, and to the next generation as well. So by my knowledge and knowing exactly what needs to be done for these types of families and Canadians and Filipinos in general, um, my goal is really to spread the news. And that's why
Exactly.
we're here too.
Absolutely. And thank you very much. Because sharing is caring. I always have that quote unquote, sharing is caring. And it's
Hmm.
very important that you know what you're doing, you know what you need to plan. Because you cannot plan if you're not aware what to do. You cannot plan the right thing if you don't have the right information, right? So,
Right.
and that's why we are so excited to have you, because on this webinar, our objective is to share what are the right thing to do, what are the right planning to do for 2025. Diba? So
Hmm.
that's our objective. And majority of our viewers right now, and especially our communities, are either they're new to Canada, they're already here in Canada and trying to settle. So
Hmm.
what will be your best tip for them that they are just new, they don't know, maybe they just stay here for second year, so they don't have that informed in the right information yet. So
Right.
what will be your best tip for them?
Well, if they're just getting in here, I think it's really just trying to figure out the basics of settling down. So you need the three things to live: food, shelter, clothing. So the first thing you should really take a look at if you're just coming into the Canada is looking at what is available to you as a new immigrant or new landed PR person.
Mm-hmm.
So talking to your immigration lawyer, talking to your advisors or what have you, you should really be learning basics as opposed to getting to some people where they're going to try and sell you on something that's going to be very complex.
For sure.
By having the basics down pat, you really get to know the lay of the land. So, for example, if I'm going to go to the Philippines, I'm going to need to know, okay, what is the job market here? What kind of job am I going to get
Mm-hmm.
to start?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone needs to start somewhere. So never think that a job is your end, it's your beginning. So by having that beginning mindset, you can really focus on what needs to be done next.
Mm-hmm.
If you're already established in Canada, well, definitely, you're already creating income, or you're looking at ways to save money, maybe buy a home, buy this or that, whatever you need to do in terms of planning. You need to have that plan, and having the plan is really, it's really basic. For one, looking at what you can do for your year ends every single year, and how am I going to start off fresh. So every year, I always say, lay everything down on the table, good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
So that's looking at all your debts, looking at all of your liabilities, looking at everything that you own and what you owe, and getting your net worth down,
Mm-hmm.
and then seeing how can I make that better.
Mm-hmm. So it's like what you're saying is put it everything on the table so that you are aware of what you
Yes.
have, what are your liabilities, what are your income, so that you will have like an overview of everything. So after that, what aside from connecting to the right people, I think one of the best tip that I'm hearing from you is, hey, you need to connect with the right people. You need don't be scared of asking,
Mm,
ask how, or
right.
ask something, because when I came here in Canada in 2016, I don't know what's credit score.
Right.
Score. And it's funny thing because most of the establishment, the big box stores, they give you credit card.
Mhm.
Costco, go to Costco, they will give you credit cards. Go to Walmart, they will offer you credit cards. Go to Henry's, they will give you credit cards. So there's a lot of, and if you go to a car dealers, they will, it's easy to get loans, right?
Mhm.
So I think being aware is very important. But if I am a newcomer and I don't know, like no idea at all, I already lay out everything here, and if I want to ask someone, where's the best place to go? Because most of the people are scared to ask questions because they
Correct.
don't know what to ask questions.
Mhm.
They don't know who is the right person to ask, right? So what will be our for our second step now that we lay out everything? What will be our second step?
Our second step in terms of figuring out who to ask is really, I think the first thing you should be going through is the questions you're going to ask.
For sure.
Because if you're going to seek out the help first without being having any weapons or anything like that, or something behind you to fall back on, you're going to trust the first person you're going to figure out.
Sure.
And if that person may not be the right fit, you're just going to see what you know. So I would say get the right questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if you are looking to buy a home,
Mm-hmm.
what do I need to? Here's the first question: is what do I need to do to qualify for a home?
Yeah.
How much do I need?
Yeah.
Right. And then from there, how much do I need as a down payment?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. And then from there, how am I going to get the loan? You can research all of this on the internet before you even look at a mortgage broker or a realtor,
For sure.
because now you have those questions to ask. So when you do go to these, you instead of you trying to seek out information, you're seeing if they are going to be the right fit for you, not you being the right fit for them.
Yeah.
And I think that's where our community really relies on relationships as opposed to knowledge. We need to be seeking out the knowledge and not be emotional about the relationship that you
For
have.
sure. For
I
sure.
mean, I've seen many clients where we have to fix their financial plan because the financial plan that they have was from a first year advisor that was their cousin,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So having the right question to ask is really important. And that way you can test. For example, if you're going to ask for a financial advisor like myself, well, how do you get paid? How
Mhm.
do you as an advisor get paid? What type of companies do you deal with?
Mhm.
Who are you going to be? How do you come up with your planning?
Mhm.
What type of resources do you have?
Mhm.
Right? Having these types of quivers are more important for the client than it is for the advisor.
I see. Yeah, I mean that's very important. I think we have a culture that yung tinatawag na utang na loob, right? So we have like, oh, because he helped me to settle. So whatever the financial advice or advice that he will give me, siya na yun, or I will follow it, right? So
Hmm.
I think that's one thing that I want to highlight from our conversation right now: knowledge first before emotion, right?
Yes,
And
agreed.
you cannot have those knowledge if you're not researching. So right now, utilize social media. There's a lot of contents, right?
Mhm.
This one, the podcast that we have right now,
Right.
is one way to educate yourself, to add more information, so that at the end of the day you have informed decision. So what I'm seeing right now, Joe, is remove the emotion first when you are deciding something, right? So
Definitely.
remove the emotions, more on the knowledge. And from the knowledge, you understand, now you can have the proper decision of what to do next. What to,
Exactly.
who to get, who's the right person or company, right? So I think that's
Mhm.
very, very important. So
Right.
going back, because as you mentioned, before financial advisor, you work in a hospitality. If there will be a one money mistake that you wish you could undo, what would it be, and how did you change your perspective to become a professional financial advisor?
So to answer the first question, the one thing I would probably say would be get away from the bank.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was actually talking to somebody today, and a lot of the time, um, we as Canadians are kind of brought up a certain way, right? We have the story. You go to school for 4 years to high school, and then you go to college. Once you get to college, you go to get a job. After that job, you have, first house, and then you have two kids, a wife, and a dog. White picket fence, and then you work to your age 65, and then 65, you retire with what you have, and then you die. That's the story of our life. Oh, by the way, in that time, save up, save up, save up. Thing is that that's where we should be taking that and saying, okay, why is everyone doing that and everyone feels like they're struggling? There has to be a better way. And unfortunately, who's the best marketer of financial services is the bank. So for me, I find that a lot of institutions are more product based than they are about planning based.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't gotten a financial plan from an advisor at your bank, you should really take a look at somebody who's going to give you solutions versus products. And that's the one thing that when I was coming up, I did not get when I was in the hotel business was solutions. I got products. So now as a financial advisor of 12 years, I really look at more so the planning and the solution, and the product is really just the avenue of where that's going to be,
Mm-hmm.
right? You'll see in our community a lot of people are really more so on the product. Oh, buy this. Oh, buy that. Look at the benefits. Look at the benefits. but it doesn't really show how it's going to be better for you, and it's going to solve this, this, and this.
Mhm. Yeah. And I think that that's very important for everyone. It's an eye opener for everyone, right?
Hmm.
Uh, Avoid the banks and focus on the planning and the solutions, right?
Right.
Because as we grow, I mean, back home in the Philippines, go to the bank, save money, right? Save money,
Yeah.
and you need to save money and go to the bank, go to the bank. But at the end of the day, you can utilize your savings, not just putting all the money in your bank, right? So what are the things that we should do? Like, for example, I am a new immigrant. Now I understand that I need to see the solutions. I need to plan, I need to do solutions, and I want to avoid the bank, right? So how can I do this? I mean, as a new immigrant, like for me, my thinking right now, I need to go to the bank because my salary goes to the bank.
Yeah.
My transaction is the bank. How can I do this?
Right. I'm not saying that avoid the banks altogether, because you do need a checking account, savings account,
Sure.
because those are going to be the avenues to make life easier,
Yeah.
because your bills can be paid by your credit
Hmm.
card or whatever, right? Or your bank accounts.
Hmm.
Um, we should really take a look at someone who doesn't have any ties towards a certain company.
Hmm.
So someone like a financial broker.
Hmm.
And when I say financial broker, you should ask this particular question. You can see that I'm all about questions.
Yes. Yes.
Who are your carriers? And if they don't have access to all the carriers,
Hmm.
it means that they have a bias towards a particular company. So, for example, if I'll, if I don't know if I'm allowed to throw any companies out here, but say, for example, a Sun Life,
Hmm.
very big company in Canada. If
Hmm.
an advisor does not have access to that big of a company,
Hmm.
there should be a little question there, shouldn't it?
Hmm.
Right? So have someone who's a broker that
Hmm.
can really take a look at the market for you, whether it's insurance, investments, financial plan, whatever, and seeing what's available. Right?
Hmm.
I think that's really the big issue here is
Hmm.
we think that everyone's a broker, but they don't have access to what is available.
Hmm.
So therefore, they work for the company as opposed to the client.
Hmm. So what you're saying is go to someone that can give you several options.
Yes.
That's why the first question that you're going to ask to a broker is who is your carrier, right? So I mean that's something, it's very interesting, right? So if you have questions or feedbacks, please comment it below, and Joe and I were happy to answer your questions and clarify things. I mean, this is the purpose of our podcast, to share. Sharing is caring. Share and knowledge, share our expertise. But right now, financial planning for me personally, Joe, financial planning is very important. Either you are a businessman, you are a newcomer, you already here in Canada for so long, you already established you already have a house, you already have your business and everything. Financial planning is very, very important, right? So what will be your advice to anyone that wants to grow their financial assets, their their
Yeah.
portfolio? This is a very big discussions. I mean, 1 hour is not enough, but how are you going to advise to someone that already have established? Because a while ago we discussed about a newcomer that zero idea, no idea at all what to do, what's the next thing. Because we just shared, if you're a newcomer, lay out everything, put it on the table. What are your credits? What are your loan? What are your debt? What are your asset?
Yeah.
And go for someone that can help you, right? And for those people that already established, they already have a business, a real estate investment, real estate portfolio. The key for what I understand is financial planning. What will be your advice for them?
I think the first advice that you spoke about, where you lay everything on the table, that is really where it doesn't matter if you're a newcomer or not. You should really take a look at what you have at stake and go from there.
Mhm.
And even regardless if you're established or not, here's the most scariest thing in financial
Mhm.
planning. The
Mhm.
scariest thing in financial planning is to see the bad that you're doing. Everyone likes to see the good. Oh, I do 20% a year in investments. Look at my returns. Look at this. Look at that. But no one ever says, oh yeah, take a look at my $50,000 car loan. Take a look at my, the mortgage I can barely pay off, right?
Mhm.
Or this or that. Like, it's scary. It's
Yeah.
scary when I have a $10,000 30% credit card debt. I don't want to see that, right?
For
So
sure.
laying everything out on the table, you get to see the good and the bad and say, okay, how do I tackle the bad so I can
Mhm.
get better being at the good?
Nice. Yeah.
And there's different ways to counteract that. And so I guess later on we'll talk about year-end planning, but there's different ways that you can tackle these things. For one, if it's debt, there's different ways to tackle it. For example, there's 50, 30, 20 splits, there's snowball effects, there's velocity banking. There's so many different
Mhm.
strategies that you can do to minimize the debt without having to actually go on a financial diet. That's the one thing I don't really agree with, is because we work hard for our money. If I want a latte at Starbucks, Joey, I should just go be able to get a latte at Starbucks. I shouldn't have to say, oh, well, that $5 I could really save today, and it's going to compound to $5.20. Right? I think that we should be looking at value-based spending as opposed to financial diets.
Yeah. I mean,
So what
that's something that I really want to another topic, probably like financial diet and value based. Like it's, I think most of the people now, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're watching right now, are you in the financial diet right now,
Mhm.
or you are growing your portfolio and you are on the value based? Diba? So those are the conversation that we would like maybe on the next topic. But today is very interesting because it's almost year end. No, I mean, this November 20th in few days, December in a few days again, it's 2025. So napakabilis ng panahon. So as the year ends, no, almost 2025 now. What are the things that we should do in finishing the year to have a strong financial in 2025?
You should really take a look at what you have in place right now. So, for example, if you are looking at to take advantage of some of the programs that are available for Canadians at
Mhm.
the end of the year, December 31st, first time savings account, or FHSA, um, those are due in December
Mhm.
to get the $8,000 for next year. So that way, if you do it now, you get $8,000 contribution room, and next year, January 1st, you get another 8,000. So you have $16,000 if you're going to put your money into a first time home buyer plan, right? Then the second one is the contribution room to get your Canada Education Savings Grants for your RESPs are due on 31st of December as well. So for your child to get the CESG grant for the year, you should make your contribution before the end of the year, which is December 31st.
Mhm.
Anything in terms of TFSAs you're going to max out, you can do those too, as well as tax loss selling. So if you have assets that aren't doing very well, you can actually sell them and have a tax loss that will go against your income and your tax credits.
Wow.
And that way you can minimize the tax you owe for next year.
Wow.
Um, and another one that many people don't really realize is if you have a job, you probably have health and dental and health benefits.
Yeah.
Go to the chiropractor. Go get your RMTs done. Go look at the with your feet. If you see your podiatrist, go to a naturopath because these are benefits that your company is giving you for free,
Yeah.
or you're paying a small amount for them. You might as well try and max them out as much as you can. Go
Yeah.
to the dentist.
Mhm.
Go get your checkups done. Right?
Max.
Like
Yeah.
these benefits are there for you for free.
Exactly. Yeah.
You might as well take advantage of them, right? So take a look at your health and dental benefits
Mhm.
and seeing what is available for me this time of the year,
Mhm.
and I better be booking them. I For myself, I actually do every quarter I do something called benefits day.
Mhm.
So I take a day off once a quarter, and then I do like a professional basketball player where I'll go to the dentist and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
go get my eyes checked,
Yeah.
and then I go to my chiropractor and I go get an RMT massage, and I go get my feet checked,
For
and like
sure.
I get all the benefits done in like once every 3 months. So that
Yeah.
way I know that I'm using my benefits.
Exactly. And you're making sure yourself is healthy because health is wealth, as we mentioned, right? Aside
Right.
from maximizing the health benefit, I mean, you're taking care of yourself.
Exactly.
It's the
And
most
so
important thing.
yeah, so those are available. Those are for free, right?
Yeah.
If you work for a T4 employee or something like that, or you work for somebody and you have benefits, use them. Use them.
Yeah.
But yes, those are all registered plans that you can do. But now, come January, I was having a conversation actually with somebody, and in terms of January, I think that's the best time to be now taking a look at some things because now we're in Christmas.
Mhm.
So a lot of people are having a bit of anxiety because they have to buy so many presents, they have so many things going on, and all this stuff.
Mhm.
Well, if you plan from January for Black Friday, which is in 2 days, you probably could buy what you want without having any guilt because you've planned and made
Mhm.
sure you've rationed for the year to go buy that thing that you wanted for 30% off at Black Friday,
Exactly. Yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah.
So if you're doing Christmas presents, it's the best time to do it now because everything's 30% off, right? Because Black
Mhm.
Friday, Cyber Monday, it's
Yeah.
available,
Yeah.
right? I do my Christmas shopping at this time of year,
Yeah. For sure.
not during December. I hate malls.
Exactly. I mean, we all know, no, especially Christmas season coming in, like yung tinatawag nating mga budget it ruins our budget, especially for Christmas, especially for Filipino. We love giving gifts, sharing our blessings. But what will be our tips for them? Like aside from shopping, like the Black Friday, maximizing the sales, what will be other advice that we should do on December? Is it okay to to shop before December, or maybe we can do shopping maybe earlier December? So what will be additional tips for them?
I would say, yeah, now is the best time to shop because everything's on sale, and so you're essentially buying your Christmas gifts at 30% off,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
But also, you know, I think we look at our gifts as we have to buy those gifts. That's what they want. That's what we give, right?
Mm.
But if you're going to be looking at, I would say again, it's all about value based spending. So,
Mhm.
what does that really mean? It means what do you value
Sure.
when you spend money on something? So, in saying that, do you really have to give everyone a gift? Could you have a family day and make chocolates for everybody,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so your friends and things like that may, not your immediate family or anything like that, but you're close, but you're not so close that you have to buy them like $100 gift or anything. You could do that. Have you thought about Santa exchange? Like
Inside.
my family does that because you know what? At the end of the day, I'll be honest, we could pretty much buy what we want.
Exactly. Yeah.
The whole point of gifting is to just be nice, but you can be nice without having to break the bank,
Exactly. I
right?
love. I
Make
love.
that chocolates.
Yeah.
Why are we here for Christmas and the holidays? The reason we're here is because we want to spend it with our family.
Yeah.
You can do so many things. There's so many Christmas lights and things. I don't know what they have in Nova Scotia, but here in BC, there's so many attractions that
Mm-hmm.
are free
Mm-hmm.
that you and your family can just make some hot chocolate,
Yeah.
put it in a thermos, and go drive somewhere.
Yeah.
Spend
Spend.
time with your families.
Yeah.
They're going to remember that more than they remembered your Xbox that
Yeah.
broke down 3 years later.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is very important because as a Filipino, we love giving gifts, right? I mean,
Mhm.
it's one thing that we need to highlight that hey, there's a lot of other options aside from material things. You can
Right.
spend time, you can
Mhm.
and give them because I always say thought it counts, right? So maybe the most important thing in gift giving is you remember them. It doesn't mean how expensive the gift that you're giving. It's that oh I'm going you're very important that's why I give you $100 gift card. No, it's not.
Right.
It's thoughts, right? So
Exactly. Right. And I would say also on top of that, I don't know if anyone here does charitable giving,
Mhm,
but you do have tax credits that are available too.
mhm. Yep,
When you do tithing to your church, to a
yep.
registered charity, if you give life insurance to your charity, you can actually get the tax credit that way too.
Mhm.
There's so many different ways to give without having to always break the bank.
Exactly. I mean, there you have a lot of tips. I think thank you very much, Joe, for sharing those tips. I think one thing that I really learned from you today to our podcast today is that hey, you need to be aware that there is a lot of things that we can maximize. There's a
Mm.
first, the first time saving and the child benefit, and there's also for real estate if you have an asset is not doing well, you can do like tax law. So these are the informations that we're getting from here, and if you are not familiar and you want to learn more about this, I strongly suggest to reach out Joe. I think this is very important to reach out with someone that can help you plan your 2025. Don't hesitate to contact Joe. I mean, this
Mm.
is how we're doing. I mean, we're building network, we're building community. As a Filipino, we're helping each other. Aside from sharing information, maybe you have more questions that you want to ask Joe. Joe, can
Right.
where can they reach you out? I mean, how can they reach you out?
Well, I'm on all social medias. So I have the Facebook and all the LinkedIn and things like that. But I also have my website, clearpointwm.com. You can also email me. So here's what I'm going to do actually. We have, we actually finished an ebook,
Mm-hmm.
and the ebook has a lot of different information. And what it does is it has the information in there, but it also has the tools. So
Wow.
if you want to do budgeting, if you want to do your will or estate, you don't have to go to the lawyer for them to do everything. You can actually get it done yourself and then go to the lawyer just for notarization. You can
Nice.
just there's a net worth statement in there that you can do. So remember, when you lay everything out, you take your liabilities versus your owings versus what you own versus what you
Mhm.
owe, and that's your net worth. So you have a net worth statement, you have insurance information, you can get all of this stuff done, and you can have all the information done. If we give it to you, it's free. All you have to do is I'll send you the link, Joey,
Yeah.
and then they can just sign up. It's just a name and an email address, and they can get all of these tips and tricks for it. And that's completely and utterly complimentary.
Wow. I think that's very important because financial planning it's a long conversations and there's a lot of considerations because every individual is different, right?
Mhm.
Having the right tool like you mentioned is something that you can make it as a guide. Right, so
Exactly.
send us the link and we are so happy to share it to everyone. And if you're watching right now, if you need the guide, just comment guide and I'll send it to you so that this is something very valuable because planning financial planning for 2025 it's not an overnight process.
Right.
It's a
Exactly.
practice that you need to do. You need to educate first, get the right information first, then plan and then implement. Because
Yes.
if you just get all the information, you absorb all the information that Joe shared with us tonight, and then you're not able to implement it, right? And it's not. I
Yep.
think it's very important. Informed and then implement those things. And if you are not sure or what to do, what's the next step? You have some clarification. Reach out, and I'm happy to connect you with Joe, or download this tool that Joe. Do you have a title for the tool, or
Oh, really? It's just a better way of planning.
a better way of planning? That's the name of the tool.
Yeah,
Catchy.
this is a better
Now
way.
download the better way of planning.
Right? And
So
so it's just
what's
a
the
book
name of
on
the
that.
tool? The better way of planning.
Yeah, easy, right?
Easy.
So it's because we get so many questions, right? And I say, why not have the tools and the ability to do what you need to do? And I always say this, Joey, is that you know what? Uh, you know who wins the lottery?
Mm-hmm.
The one that buys the ticket.
For sure.
So you can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket. So just like to reiterate what you said, you can have all the information, but if you don't implement anything,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to get anywhere,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
In order for you to be a real estate investor, you got to go buy real estate.
For sure, right?
Right? So I said, well, why not give you the tools to do that? And if you need help, if you need any guidance, obviously I'm here, our
Yeah.
team's here,
Yeah.
and we can help you where we need to help you.
For sure. The better
Right?
way planning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's we have a lot of also growing community in real estate. You mentioned about real estate investment, no? We have a lot of growing community that into real estate. Shout out to Capre, shout out to Jenny, to Certon, to Elvis, and to everyone that we know that into real estate game. What would be your financial advice to everyone starting season and planning to start real estate for 2025?
So are we talking about real estate investing, or are we
Yeah,
talking about
a little bit.
buying a house?
We start maybe from real estate investment.
Okay. So real estate investment, I think for one, people should be looking at a few things. One, find the money. Find the money because real estate's always going to be there, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at the real estate and you have no money, then it's not going to work. So how do you find the money, right? So there's three ways to look at the money. One, you got to plan for the money. That's where the financial plan comes in. Second is take a look at your net worth. Your net worth is your network. So find the money. Who is willing to work with you or who is willing to invest with you that may have some cash that they would like to invest with you.
Yeah.
The third one is in terms of finding money, and this is a great one for 2025 for going into 2026, is the government treats businesses better than people.
Yeah.
What does that mean? That means if I'm a person, I'm rather be a business than a person.
Sure.
So in order for me to do that, I should look at businesses that I want to tackle, maybe a side hustle, maybe like something. It's something that's like more retail or anything like that. I wouldn't go into like financial advising if you're not going to do it full time because you're dealing with people's livelihoods and their
Mm-hmm.
life savings.
Yeah.
I hope you're not doing it part time. But in saying that, there's so many different businesses that you can get into, and therefore you have now the eligibility to do write-offs. When you have write-offs, you deduct your income, which now becomes a tax write-off,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get a refund at the end of the year. You
Mm-hmm.
take that refund, find some money. What can you do with the money? Take little by little chunks and put it into little things that can
Mm-hmm.
make you more money.
For sure.
Well, now you can put that into real estate, put that to anything.
Yeah.
Long term will grow. So now you're finding more money, but now you're also saving money.
Yeah.
So it's not about how much can I add, it's about what can I keep versus
Mm-hmm.
what I'm giving away.
Absolutely. I
Right.
mean,
So I would say if you're going to go into real estate investing, do those three things.
for
Figure out
sure.
how to be more of a business. Look at your network.
Yeah.
Who's your net worth?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, budget,
Budget.
but not financial diet,
Yeah.
value-based spending.
Value-based spending. I mean, this is very important because I asked 2025, we don't know 2025 coming in, but if you are on the right planning, it will be easy, and you will be more successful.
Mhm.
Because I always believe, Joe, that planning is the key.
Yeah.
Planning is the key. Either you are a newcomer, you're a seasoned business owner, real estate, you need to plan. You need to plan. I think that's the very, very important, because we manage, several business. We have
Hmm.
land development, we have immigrations, we have marketing. Planning is the key because you need to plan what the next step, but you cannot plan if you don't have the right information. I always mention this to our community that, hey, you need to plan, but make sure that you get the right information from the right person, to the right individual, right? So I think this is so important for everyone, especially if you're watching right now that you are planning to do real estate, growing your portfolio. This is the best tip that you need to take down, write it down,
Yeah.
how to find the money, plan. Right? So make sure you plan, assess your net worth. Net worth is your net worth. It's very important as well. And find an investors, find something. We Real estate investment is a huge conversations. It's a huge topic to discuss. But what I want to mention to everyone that are watching, real estate investment, real estate investment is possible to everyone.
Mhm.
It's not impossible. It's hard, it's challenging, but it's possible.
Definitely. Definitely. Anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. You just have to you gotta be creative though. I think you gotta get out of the head. Remember we talked about how we're kind of programmed to live our lives in
Mm.
terms of savings, in terms of retirement and all this stuff. You gotta get out of that system and really look at creative.
Yeah.
Get really creative on how you want to do things. I would actually also say for next year, take a look at everything that you want to accomplish next year and then
Yeah.
write it down.
Yeah.
And then after that, take 3 things that you really want to accomplish and focus on those 3 things.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to do 10 things, you're not going to do 10. So you might as well just take 10 so that way you know for next year or 2026, you could do the other 3,
Yeah.
but take top 3 and do that.
Yeah. Setting
Right.
goals. I mean, this is very important. Thank you very much, Joe. I mean, we always our conversation. I'm trying to squeeze every topic in 1 hour conversation that we have. So we jump from an individual that is newcomer to a seasoned investor. So thank you very much, Joe, for this discussions and sharing your expertise. But there's always like a topic that is always for me, this is a topic that we really need to discuss about the perspective of death. Death. I mean, Robert Kiyosaki said there's a good death and there's a bad death. What is your perspective about that one?
Debt,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
um, good debt versus bad debt.
Yeah.
Um, good debt is debt that makes you money. Bad
Mm,
debt doesn't. It
for sure.
loses you money.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
That's at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
For sure. Yeah.
So if I can put it as
A
simple
lot
as
of people
possible,
are scared. A lot of people are scared to, I don't want to mortgage. I don't want to have to do this and this because I don't want to have a long mortgage and that's why they're so scared. So what will be your advice for those people that they don't want to? I don't want to to use the credit card. I don't want to apply for this and this and this, right? So there's because in Canada there's a financing loan is very accessible.
mhm.
Right?
And so we have to really learn how to utilize leverage or debt. And that's the difference here. We're told to be scared of it.
Yeah.
You gotta be scared of debt. You gotta be scared of, oh my God, like I have to pay off my mortgage because it's debt. But that debt actually made you $1 million.
Yeah.
Think about it, right?
Yeah.
You couldn't buy $1 million house without an $800,000 mortgage.
Yeah. For sure. For
So
yeah.
you have to be able to be comfortable with that, and you have to look at the numbers. If my mortgage is at 2%, which some still are, right? Because they locked in really well. So if I'm going to do that for 2%, but I can make 10% somewhere else, why would I want to pay the 2 when I can make the 10 that pays off the 2?
Yeah.
Grant Cardone, I don't know if you know who he is.
Yes. Yes.
This advice isn't for everybody, but he famously said that he rents where he lives and rent out what he owns.
Yeah.
And so I add on to that. So eventually, whatever he rents out pays for where he lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a different way of looking at it because he's not actually paying anything.
Yeah.
Everyone else is paying for his livelihood
For sure.
because he's in this type of real estate.
Exactly.
So the point of that quote is really thinking differently and thinking outside the box
Think out of the
of what is my goal and how can I achieve that goal?
box. 100%.
Because there's no, unless you have briefcases with $10 million in it,
Yeah.
it's going to be pretty hard to get something.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is something that we would like to inspire everyone. And if you're watching right now, it's very important to have an informed decision. We always go back to the conversation that before, you know, getting a mortgage, maybe investment, maybe real estate, maybe building a portfolio, there's always things that you need to consider. But having surround yourself with the right people, and don't be scared to ask questions. Don't hesitate, don't be shy to ask questions, that what will be if I do this, what will happen to this, right? Especially if you're applying for mortgage. Most
Mhm.
of the people are scared. I need to pay 30 years. I don't want to until retirement I'm going to pay that, because that's something that, that's what we learn in
Right.
our, right? So I think that's very important for me, Joe. Thank you very much for sharing that one. And one thing for me just to add is connect to the right people, join communities, reach out with other people, ask
Mhm.
questions. If you're scared, ask other people that are doing this.
Right.
A lot of people doing real estate, right?
Definitely.
For sure, maybe on their first deal, they're scared, but because they're surrounded with the right people, then you go there. You
You can
need
ask.
to do
You can ask
this.
those questions.
Yeah. Don't
Right.
don't, ask, don't hesitate to ask questions.
Mhm.
Especially we have Joe, we have the community as well. We have the Capre. Capre is growing community. A big shout out to all Canadian Filipino real estate investors all over Canada. Shout out to you. So I mean, for everyone that are planning for 2025, this is the right time to plan. It's November. We have few days to to prepare. Maybe you're wrapping the gift. You're planning for the gift giving. I think this is one way to plan as well.
Mm.
One of the best gift that you can do to give to yourself is plan for next 2025. As Joe mentioned, set a goal, attainable goal. Make it 3, at least it's super attainable. And if at least you have still room, to do it for 2020, you have 12 months to do it for your plan for next year. I think also, Joe, it's very important to have a strong why you're doing this. What's your plan for 2025? Why you're doing this? You're doing this for this. I think that's very important when you do a planning. So for me, I learned a lot from Joe today. So if you're watching this, please comment it below. Make sure to shout out. And if you have questions, don't hesitate to comment in the chat. Maybe it's recorded. I will be happy to connect with you with Joe if you have more questions. And also, I'm happy, Joe, to share the link, which is the better weight planning.
Definitely. I can certainly send that for you. I would say that if you're looking at financial planning, you should be taking a look at 3 areas. First one, you should be taking a look at your foundation. Your foundational is really the what ifs, because you can have all the real estate in the world, you can have all the investments in the world,
Mm,
but if you don't have the what if factor, meaning covering the ability for you to make money, so life insurance, critical illness, disability, all of these things, you're not going to be very fruitful in the future, because
Mhm.
you're going to have to take those interests or those investments and
Mhm.
fund what you need to do. Um, I'll say this. I tread very lightly because I find GoFundMe's are nice,
Mhm.
but really the whole point of GoFundMe is to fund people that didn't take care of themselves in the first place. So take care of yourselves first. The second, once that's taken care of, then you can take a look at these investments and different avenues that you can do, right? But again, we just go back to the plan. The plan is the really big thing,
Yeah.
right? In order for you to build a shelf with IKEA, you need the instruction manual.
For sure.
So you need to have the instruction manual, so the plan, in order for you to get step by step by step to
Yeah.
create the cabinet, to create the table,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So that's where the plan comes in.
Yeah. I mean, this is very important for everyone, especially for our kababayan that are working hard in Canada. We
Mhm.
always say work, 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 work. I mean,
Right.
right?
And yeah, and it doesn't have to be. And I'm saying this is that just because there's so many different types of people, right? There's people who are just coming into Canada. There's more people who are established business owners like yourself, and
Yeah,
so they have different problems.
for
And so
sure.
having somebody that knows the different problems from corporations and how
Mhm.
to navigate corporations and how to free up money and using different avenues and different tactics to do that. That's where somebody like me can do that. But also, we take care of the people that, are T4 income or people just coming in.
Yeah,
We're here to help people as opposed to just, sell the product.
yeah, for sure. I think it's very important that we need to take care of ourselves, and at the same time, you health is wealth. We always mention that one, but yeah, I mean, health is wealth. Know your foundations and financial planning. It's very important. So yeah, I mean, everyone is excited for 2025. I mean,
Mhm.
everyone is excited for 2025. It's a new year, it's a new beginning. How about you, Joe? What is your plan for 2025 that you want to share with us?
Ooh, what am I going to accomplish in 2025? You're calling me out here because now I got to do it because now it's on TV.
Maybe just one goal. Maybe
Well, for one, obviously, it's always trying to be better than the last year. So whether that be fitness, whether that be something, I mean, I'm a bit older. I'm 45 years old, and so for myself, just always trying to look younger than I than the last year. But I would say the goal for next year is 10 more doors. So I'm a slow go. I got 9 now.
yeah.
Let's go for 10 to
Hmm.
11 more so that way we can get to 20 doors. Um, Travel. I have a couple of things I want to do in terms of traveling.
Hmm.
So we're already planning those out for next year. And yeah, our goal is to just actually one of the big areas I want to do is get more in tune with the social media stuff. So that way we can provide more information for everybody um, in regards to different things. And it doesn't have to be insurance. It doesn't have to be investment. It could be mindset. It could be different ways to tackle tax in terms
Hmm.
of how to structure corporations, how to do this and that. There's so many different things that we can do. So therefore, we're just going to be doing a lot more marketing in terms of social media stuff. So be tuned in that sense.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, 2025, maybe we 2025 is just in the corner.
So those are my three. So I'm
That is
calling
very,
it out now.
so we're looking but I mean, for everyone that watching, I mean, for everyone that watching right now, what is your three goals that you want to achieve in 2025? If you love to share it in the comment section. We would like to acknowledge you. For me, my goal for 2025 is number one, as you mentioned, health. Good health. Health is wealth. And of course, to grow our land development here in Nova Scotia. So we're
Mhm.
looking to duplicate 10x our land development. And we're so happy with all the people and to all the people that surrounds me. especially the real estate investor community. I'm so happy, and I want to grow with this community because I want to connect, I want to learn, I want to, I said we always mention in our life right now is you need to have an informed decisions. You want to educate yourself. You want to learn more. You want to learn from different perspective and experiences. You want to learn from other people's mistakes so that you can avoid and grow yourself. I mean, for me, that's my plan. I want to,
Fantastic.
health. I want to grow my land development, and I want to build my network. As you mentioned a while ago, network is your network. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's fantastic.
So now
Those
we have three goals that we need to achieve because we are online.
for us, it's like, okay, here we go. We called it out. Everyone knows. You know,
Everyone else.
how many thousands of people are seeing this, especially in the Capri stuff that we're involved in. So it's like, okay, now we really gotta figure it out. I don't know how many people are gonna call us. Hey, do you need a JV or?
We don't know, right? I mean, the social media. And before we end our conversation, I mean, you mentioned that you want to grow your social media. I think right now, if you're watching right now, either you are startup real estate investors, or probably you're just newcomer. Utilize social media.
Mm,
Number one, if you want to learn more information, go to YouTube, go to
yep.
social media. If you're a real estate investors, connect with the right people. You know what? The side story, we don't have our connection with Joe is the Capre. So I just message. I utilize social media. I message him on Messenger, right? So now I have Joe. So just utilize the social media, right?
Mhm.
So there's no hindrance right now. It's 2024. Next few months or few days, it's 2025. Utilize social media.
Right.
It's under it's just on your phone, right? So don't hesitate to message. Message Joe. Message Joe. You will learn a lot. And download. Don't forget to download the
Mm,
Better Way Planning tool. Before we
exactly.
end our podcast, Joe, what will your last message for everyone that are watching? Please invite them to your platform, and of course, if invite them to download also the tool that you created for everyone to have financially prepared and ready.
Mm. Here we are, 2024, going into 2025. I invite all of you, seek the knowledge. Seek the knowledge from me. You'll get it. You'll get it without hesitation. You're gonna get whatever it is that you need to do to help you achieve the goal that you want to achieve. Again, I didn't talk about any products today because we're not here to try and sell you life insurance or investments or something like that, because we don't even know what your plan is and we don't even know the problem that you want to solve.
Exactly.
So the goal is figure out the problems that you want to solve next year, figure out the goals that you want to achieve next year, and let's have a conversation about it
Mhm.
and use the tools that I'm going to give you to utilize what you need to utilize. And if you have any problems, contact me on social media. It's free,
Yeah, absolutely.
right?
And
So
on your mobile phone, just a finger, 1, 2, 3 clicks, and you can reach out Joe.
easy stuff, right?
Yeah.
I always say, you know, I know this from 12 years in the business. I know this from so many different angles. So why would I
Mhm.
keep it to myself?
Exactly. Sharing is caring.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're not here to sorry if I'm calling out all the other advisors in the country, but again, we're not here to cookie cutter anything.
Yeah.
No one gets the same plan from me
For sure.
because it's based on what you want to achieve.
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
So
Yeah. Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much for your time and sharing your expertise. And we love you to have another sessions because
mhm.
you mentioned a lot of things that I love to discuss on the next show. And I'm so happy to invite you once again. Anyway, for everyone that are watching, please comment your questions. Don't hesitate to ask questions. Don't hesitate to reach out, Joe. I'll put the link or the website that you can reach out or the link that you can download. Once again, thank you very much, Joe, for your time and for everyone that joined our podcast. This will be sent recorded as well to your email if you are subscribe to our newsletters. We will going to send this recorded live so that you can watch. If you want to subscribe to our newsletter, simply go to my link, kapjoey.com/everyone. Thank you very much po mga kap, and we are signing out. See you on our next Everyone podcast this coming Tuesday, 7 p.m. Halifax time. We have a very special guest as well to share his story on real estate investment. Thank you very much po mga kap, and we are signing out.